Hi, it's Angela Philbrook and Liz Cotter from Cape Cod Title and Escrow, and we were talking today about how TRID is not just for buyers anymore. So what we're finding, we represent buyers and sellers and lenders, but for many of our sellers, these new regulations in the mortgage industry really do affect the seller, and it changes their obligations in the transaction and the timing. So it's really important for sellers out there to retain an attorney who's familiar with these regulations.
Something different about our office is that we do a title exam for our sellers when they retain us. And why this is different is that traditionally the buyer's closing attorney does the title exam in Massachusetts, and they still will. But finding out about a title issue 2 weeks before closing isn't the time you want to start working on that. So we pride ourselves on doing what we call seller rundown. So we review your title as well to make sure that if there are any title issues that jump out at us ahead of time, we can actually start working on that prior to even having the house going under agreement, so that's not a reason that your closing gets delayed.
Oftentimes we tell sellers as soon as they think about selling their home to contact us, because they're represented for a flat fee. So there's no reason to not call us ahead of time. They simply get more of our time, more of our guidance before you've even listed that home. We know if there are any issues with the title that we have to deal with ahead of time. That's something that could affect the financial outcome of the transaction, and something that you want to know before as opposed to once you have a buyer at the table.
And also we find that our realtors find this tool helpful because they don't really want to spend time marketing or trying to sell a property that ultimately has a title issue that's going to delay it 6 months. So again, if any time a seller goes to put a property on the market, they really should have their title looked at. And that's something that we do standard for all of our sellers.
And also important in reviewing offers, all those offers when they come pouring in for a seller, is to be able to have the legal guidance to review those offers in light of TRID, especially if you've got a buyer who's financing. We could tell you right off the bat if those dates are reasonable, if they're doable, if they're feasible, and also advise you what you're going to have to do ahead of time and when in order to make that transaction a success.